They say the universe has a wicked sense of humor. I used to think that was just something people said to cope with misfortune. But that was before I watched a man dig his own grave in real time, completely unaware that I was the one handing him the shovel. It all started on a Monday, a regular grey sky kind of Monday. You know the kind, where your coffee's a little bitter, your inbox is a little too full, and everyone's pretending to be more awake than they are. But for me, that Monday was different. It was the day a new CEO took over at the company I'd co-founded 10 years ago. Technically, I hadn't been involved in day-to-day operations for about a year. I stepped back after my wife passed. Grief changes you. It pulls the air out of the room and turns success into static. But even in the background, I still held 90% of the company's shares. No one knew, not even most of the board, because I kept it quiet. Strategic silence, you could say. I wanted to observe how things evolved without interference. Enter Daniel Whitmore, Harvard MBA, expensive shoes, a handshake like wet paper. He was everything a board obsessed with fresh direction wanted. Tall, smug, loud. He talked more about vision in his first email than results. He hadn't built a single thing in his life, but he was here now, and he thought he ran the place. I arrived that Monday out of curiosity. I didn't need to be there. I could have sat back in my estate, watched stocks rise and fall, and let the board figure things out. But something told me this man needed to be seen up close. So I showed up. Not in a tailored suit, not in a flashy car, just jeans, blazer, and a travel mug in hand. I wanted to be invisible. To him, I looked like middle management. Perfect. As I walked through the building I helped design, I noticed small things. The receptionist had changed. The break room had more kombucha than coffee. And the name tags, the new ones had Daniel's branding, Whitmore & Co., in fine grey font beneath the original logo. He was already claiming the company, like a dog marking territory. I walked into the operations floor. Conversations stopped. People stared like they were seeing a ghost. A few old-timers smiled. Respectfully, cautiously. They remembered. They knew who I was. But no one said anything. That silence, that was gold. I found an open seat near the glass wall offices. My intention was simple. Observe, listen, and see if Daniel had even a fraction of the insight required to lead this beast. What happened next changed everything. Daniel stepped out of his office at exactly 9:07 a.m., late for a leader. He was holding a protein shake and wearing a Bluetooth headset. He looked over the floor like a lion surveying a savanna, then locked eyes on me. He walked over with the fake energy of a man who thinks charisma is louder than competence. "You knew?" he asked, eyebrows raised. "No, just visiting," I said calmly. "From which department?" "Operations, long time ago." He scoffed. "Well, whoever you are, you can't just show up and take a desk. This isn't a co-working space. Got it?" I nodded, hiding the grin building behind my lips. "Name?" he barked. "David." "David what?" I gave him my last name. He didn't flinch, didn't recognize it. That was his first mistake. "Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Security." Security? Over a chair. 2 guards approached. Younger guys, fresh faces. They hesitated when they saw me, but Daniel waved them over like he was swatting flies. "Escort this guy out. No badge. No business being here." The guards looked at each other, then at me. "You sure, sir?" one of them asked quietly. "Am I sure? I said it twice, didn't I?" I stood up slowly, looked at Daniel, and in that moment, something in me shifted. I hadn't planned on revealing anything, but disrespect, that I don't tolerate, especially not in my house. "Very well," I said softly. "But before I go, I'd suggest you clear your calendar for the 11 a.m. board meeting." He laughed. "You're giving me advice now." "No, just a heads up." I walked out, escorted, silent, but I wasn't angry. I was amused. At exactly 10:45 a.m., I entered the boardroom on the 17th floor. The old board members lit up like they'd seen a long-lost friend. One of them stood to shake my hand. "David, didn't expect you." "Well," I said, "turns out I was needed." At 11 sharp, Daniel entered the room. He paused mid-step when he saw me at the head of the table. What is he doing here?" he demanded. The CFO coughed. "He's been here longer than all of us, Daniel." He looked around confused. "Is this some kind of joke?" "No joke," I said. "Let's begin." I opened the shareholder ledger on the table and passed it around. The moment Daniel's eyes hit the number next to my name, the color drained from his face. "That can't be right." "It's very right," I said. "I own 90% of this company. The board doesn't outrank me. You were hired at my mercy." He tried to speak. Nothing came out. I let the silence sit. "Today's meeting is about performance," I continued, "and leadership." The board nodded. Danielle sat down, but it was the kind of sitting a man does when his legs betray him. I presented the figures. His inflated marketing budgets, his unjustified layoffs, his attempt to move headquarters to a city none of us had even discussed, his branding changes, unauthorized. It was all there, on paper. Numbers don't lie, but egos do. "I believe we've given this enough time," I concluded, "unless anyone here objects." I moved to terminate Daniel Whitmore's contract, effective immediately. No one spoke, not even a breath. Motion carried. Daniel stood slowly. You blindsided me." "No," I said. "You blinded yourself." He walked out without another word. As the door closed behind him, the room exhaled. For the first time in months, there was clarity. I sat back in the chair, my chair, and looked around. "You all voted him in because he spoke well," I said. "But this company wasn't built on speeches. It was built on sweat, on loyalty, on vision. Not the kind you shout, but the kind you earn." The board nodded again, this time with something else: respect. I didn't stay on as CEO. I didn't need to. But I made sure the next one knew where the foundation came from. I made sure the walls stayed strong. And Daniel, last I heard, he tried to start his own consultancy. But credibility isn't something you can order with your coffee. It's something you earn every day, when no one's watching. So, next time someone underestimates you, remember this: they might see you as disposable, as replaceable, but they have no idea who they're dealing with. Let them fire you. Let them laugh. Just make sure the next meeting is yours.